3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games old and new. I am Tyler Everett, and I am joined by my good friend, the one, the only, the really only, Luke Phillips. How's it going, man?
Hey, I got introduced first today.
You did. You did.
And also last.
Also last. It's just the two of us. I'm not gonna sing the whole song. Brian is sick as a dog. Kring is probably sleeping on his couch after a binge of Baby Driver and Pizza Hut pizza. So, sweet dreams, dear Kring.
It doesn't really get any better than that, I don't think.
It sounds pretty good. I'm
Yeah,
still not sold on this
Baby Driver and
movie.
pizza?
I don't know about that, man. That sounds real dumb.
Tyler, I thought you were like into music and all that.
I am into music, yep.
And like the beat of things is you drum.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So this movie really goes like along with the beat of all the music that
Does it do that?
plays along with it. So
It's like a music video, but a whole movie?
yeah. So you really should be like drumming along to the movie the entire time, like you do.
Couldn't they call it like drum beat movie?
Drum beat movie. That was the
The working
that was
title?
the working title as they were doing it. Yeah.
And they settled on Baby Driver. I don't know.
It was a studio exec thing. It didn't play well with most audiences.
I have to feel like if they actually focus tested the name Baby Driver, it would have come back with some interesting results, like people assuming it was a movie about a cartoon baby that was a driver. You know?
Well, I'll
Didn't it
tell you
come
that
out-
when like people told me about the movie, like some friends were like, "Oh yeah, we want to see Baby Driver." It's like, well, this just sounds awful.
Like, didn't it come out right around the same time as that Boss Baby movie?
I don't know what that movie is.
It's about a baby who is also a boss. Or maybe he's a boss that is a baby. It could be both.
That sounds hideous.
Yeah. Yep, and it's about a cartoon baby. And so I think when I saw Baby Driver, I assumed that it was also about a cartoon baby.
Yeah, like he's up on a booster chair driving.
Right, yeah. Like, oh,
Yeah.
well, look at me, I'm a little baby. You know, we driving. Yeah, like that.
Well, if you're any fan of Edgar Wright, who's done Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz,
I do like him.
yeah, you'll like this movie.
Okay. Maybe I'll try it.
It's not a comedy like those movies are, which is
Yeah.
really, really well done.
You know what? I guess I will, I'll take your word for it. Hey, you want to know something weird that I did get into? Hold on, I gotta find it. Technically, this is a game, but it's different from most of the games that I played. Should we you know what? I guess we'll just lump this in with the rest. Let's talk about the games we've been playing. Okay, so, I found out about this game. It's not a PC game, it's not a console game, it is a mobile game. And it is called HQ. It's a trivia game that you don't just play whenever. There's no microtransactions. There is no sticker packs, no loot boxes.
No
It
microtransactions?
Yeah, it's free to play.
So EA didn't put it out?
Right. It's actually made by I think it was made by the founders of Vine. So it's hard to explain, but basically, it's a live game show. Kind of like, I think Xbox tried to do this with a game called 1 vs. 100 a while back. I don't know if you heard about that.
Mm-mm.
But it's kind of a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style thing. They pose a question, you get there's three multiple choice answers to choose from. And if the host reads the question, you have about 10 seconds to choose an answer. Lock it in by tapping the answer on your screen. And if you get it right, you continue on. It's single elimination, so you get a question wrong and you're out. And there's 12 questions total. If you are one of the people who win, you split a prize pool at the end, and you win real money. They send it to your PayPal account, and that's yours to keep. So it's pretty wild. I've done it a couple times now, and you can see there's thousands and thousands of people in the chat, and it starts off like, you know, there'll be almost 200,000 people watching and playing along, and by the end they whittle it down to like 100 or less.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes like 5 people will end up splitting $1,000. Yesterday a game ended where there was only 3, so each person got $333.33 to take home. The chat is toxic as hell and real bad.
Well,
Like,
technically it's on the internet, so yeah.
yeah, but it's wild, man. It's like it's kind of this, it's very opposite of any mobile games that are popular right now. Like, gaming has turned into this thing of like pick up and play on demand. Everything's right now. Our TV watching habits are the same. Like, you don't usually tune in at a certain time to watch something. It's always
Mm-hmm.
either DVR'd or it's on demand. This happens like at preset times during the day. So they'll announce like, okay, next game starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and you log in and there's like a whole countdown for it to start. The host pops up and has some banter with the audience and calls out people in the chat and stuff. And yeah, it's crazy.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do they get their money?
It's a real good question because there's no ads. I think some of the questions are sponsored. Like there'll be there's like the last question in this game was something like what gosh, it was something like what TV show producer wrote a novel that inspired the hit video game The Last of Us, and then they had like three of them on there, and it ended up being
Harvey Weinstein?
David. No. No, luckily it was not Harvey Weinstein. It was David Benioff from Game of Thrones. Had written a novel that inspired The Last of Us. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't know how they get their money. That's a real good question. I assume when they sold Vine or closed down Vine, they just had a bunch of money left over and are slowly whittling through it. I guess, I don't know.
So that really concerns me because they're probably burning through cash right now in an attempt to get a player base, and then they're gonna have microtransactions or hope to sell it to another company like Facebook who can monetize it.
That's what I imagine this is all about. I imagine it's getting a giant player base, tons of user data that they can then sell to a bigger company who now has a value in that data. That's probably what it's all about.
If this takes off at all, I expect Facebook to buy it for $1.5 billion next year.
I would be really surprised if they are not getting all kinds of calls and meetings and offers right now, because, I mean, 200,000 plus people are logging into this twice a day sometimes, all simultaneously at the same time. Like, being able to drive that kind of viewing into an app like that is just like this very on-demand scheduled thing. It's impressive. And it's pretty fun. Like, it's stressful because like the first 2 questions are always real softballs. Like,
right.
What shape is a starfruit when you cut it horizontally? Oh, I think it's going to be a square, Sharon. I think it's going to be a square. No, it was stuff like that. But then they have what they call savage questions, which when like any time a huge chunk of people gets eliminated, they call it a savage question. And those are very carefully placed, usually around like the question 4 or 5 mark. I think I made it to question 5 was my highest so far. So I'm holding out though, man. Get a couple lucky guesses, and I could be sitting on a couple $100. It's a neat thing.
Neat concept. I'm just not sure if it's going to be able to stand up for long or what their grand scheme is.
Yeah, I mean, so far I don't care. Like, I just had to create an account. I didn't have to give it a whole bunch of information. So unless the app is secretly collecting data on my phone, which it probably is,
it's
honestly
probably listening to us right now.
I think we're getting to the point where like everyone has all of our data already. Like, for sure the government does, and Facebook does, and Google does, and I mean, I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to be okay with that.
What's another company having it? I mean, 3 already have it, so why not a 4th?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Right. But it's neat. I'm addicted to it. I want to play it. I missed tonight's. I was at a work party. That's the tie and the shirt and everything. Just came from a
Oh,
work
I
party.
thought you were dressing up for me.
Yeah, just for you, Luke. Just wanted this one to be special. It's episode 56 where it all comes together, except for the rest of our cast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Get
so
me alone in the podcast.
HQ, check it out. They had a Sharon. Sharon's not always there. It's usually a guy called Scott. And the chat is going crazy saying free Scott. Like, that's one of the things that you see like every couple minutes. Free Scott. So, there you go. Yeah, play HQ. Oh, I forgot to tell you. There's one other thing. You can get extra lives if somebody else uses your referral code. So they use your username to join up, and you get an extra life, and I think they do too. So what that does is if you get a question wrong, your extra life gets automatically spent, and you get to go continue on to the next one as if you'd answered it correctly. So.
Or for just $1.99.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if that happened. Oh, my video died. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, yeah, so check out HQ. Use the code TheSmoof. That's THESMOOF if you'd like some free lives. And send them to me, because I'll be playing HQ.
Yep. HQ sponsor us.
That is true. All right, so Luke, you played a little game called Subnautica. You've been digging this hard.
Well, last time we spoke about this, I lost like an hour of gameplay, and I said, I'm not going back to this. I'm not going to redo this.
I think your exact words were, "You might not see Subnautica on my list next time."
Yep.
Wrong.
The very next day, I recorded this.
Oh.
I went back, I redid everything that I had done, redid all my materials, and then I got to craft the big sub called
That's
the Cyclops.
Cool. By crafting it, are you like throwing little maker drones at it?
Yeah, so you have to craft this this little floaty thing that is basically just the fabricator for ships.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is these drones just fly out and they do their stuff, and it just appears in the middle of the air.
That's really cool. Like the moment when it drops it into the ocean is pretty neat.
Yeah, it was really cool watching it. It took me a long, long time, but yeah, you get to go inside of it, and there's different levels and storage bins, upgrades for it. There's a dock for the sea moth or for the exosuit. One of the two go inside of it, so that's really cool. So this is like a mobile base that you can go along and you can upgrade it. You can actually go down pretty far, but then from there you can do like a drop with the exosuit and go down to the very deepest parts of the game.
I really dig how like it's all functional. Like you actually board in it by going through this hatch in the bottom, like this port, and climb up through it and everything. It's not like a quick cut to all of a sudden you're in the cockpit. Like you're actually walking around and messing with stuff. That's real neat.
Yes, I haven't done a whole lot with it since getting it, but my understanding is like if stuff starts hitting it, like those leaks will start appearing in the hull that you have to actually go through and fix up, weld close. Fires can go throughout the ship, and you have to put them out. And it's cool. I dig it.
That's awesome. Do you feel like... So we played a little game called We Need to Go Deeper a little while ago. And this is bringing back memories of that, because that whole game is about, like, you've got the submarine, and you got a crew of 4 people, and you got to man this thing, and you're trying to get to the deepest depths of the ocean. Is this something where you think if they did add multiplayer to it, like you could all be doing different jobs in the ship and everything?
So, it's funny you mention that.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
Right.
My understanding is that the coding that they did on this game does not support multiplayer whatsoever. It would be a complete rework.
Okay.
So it wouldn't happen. But this sub, in the lore of Subnautica, push up my glasses here. The lore of Subnautica says that this ship was actually designed for a crew of 4. So you can see the different workstations here, and yeah, you can actually like turn on the engines and it moves forward. You can get out of the pilot seat and go do something else, and so yeah, like in theory, it could have played out that way, but
Hmm.
no.
Take 1,000 points for trying to name your sub Subby McSubface, because I saw that and it didn't let you, but it should have. It's the best name for a boat. Well done.
Yep. My sea moth is Mothface, I think,
There you go.
or Mothy McMoth. I can't remember because there was a character limit on that one too.
Pretty good, man.
Yep, Mothy
Pretty
McMoth.
good.
There it is. So, as much as I want to get back into it and like explore the last few biomes that I haven't seen yet,
Hmm.
it does like officially release sometime in January. So I'll probably hold off.
I will probably check it out again when it does, because
Hmm.
I really liked the first like couple hours of gameplay that I tried of it, but I had that same kind of feeling like this is a little janky, it's a little rough around the edges. I know they added a lot, but I kind of wanted to wait until the full release to really give it another solid go. But yeah, I mean the game looks really really cool.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful game. The effects are done really really neat. All the different wildlife and stuff is cool to see. So
It's still
stuff, man.
got a few rough edges, but they've smoothed out a lot of it.
yeah, I know there was some frame rate stuff that I think they were working on, and
Yeah, so my first save game, once I got to like hour 10 or something like that, because there was like so many changes I had done to the world as far as taking different resources from it, adding my base to it, the frame rate dropped horribly.
hmm,
This time around, I think I'm 14, 15 hours into it, much bigger base, much more places discovered, and more resources taken. Not a single problem.
cool.
So hopefully that has actually been addressed and fixed in the previous update. But,
Good stuff.
and it's still just scary as fuck, man.
Yeah, for not being a horror game, like I had some very stressful moments. There's a thing I don't want to spoil, but like there is a non how do I put this? A non-weather event that is an emergency that you're made very aware of, and you have to take cover early on in the game. And when that happened, I was like, oh shit! Like you're hearing this countdown, and you know that you need to get out of Dodge. And I remember like trying to hide in like a coral reef or something under the water, and that was real stressful. The times I've seen you like down in the real dark depths of the ocean have been pretty stressful.
It's really weird because like as you're down that far and you're going through like this cave system, it feels claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Where like I'm holding my breath, so I'm not like using all the oxygen in my sub, which has unlimited oxygen. But I'm still just like,
yo, oh no. Cool, man. Cool. Well, let's see. Oh yeah. So Destiny 2 went not free to play, but free to try. They had a free trial added up to I think it's level 7. So I downloaded that from the Blizzard launcher on my PC and decided to give it a whirl, and got about as far as I did in the beta, so I didn't really see anything brand new. I did start with different guns than were available in the beta, so that was kind of different. But I played through that whole opening sequence, and man, that game's really pretty. It's really smooth. I think the story is ridiculous, but it's kind of great too. Like,
well, I don't think it honestly takes itself that seriously from what I've seen, at least a
Yeah.
little bit. Like
Yep.
it knows it's ridiculous.
yeah, I tend to agree with that. Made
I mean,
myself a
not
little
in like the
robot
style
guy.
of quite to like the level of Borderlands ridiculous,
Right.
but somewhere between that and Halo.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I don't know, I've been told by other people that the story kind of does get more interesting and more engaging later on, which is pretty exciting. Man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far I'll get. I'll probably at least play till level 7 and then see if I want to make the full purchase after that. But so far, I'm impressed with it. It feels really tight, really responsive, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember everything being super smooth and the movement and the combat felt just top notch.
Yeah.
Fantastic
So-
port. Is it still $60?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep. I think for the full version it's 60. So
I know I missed at least one sale for it.
really, it's already been on sale. It hasn't been out on PC that long. It's
I think Black Friday was out. Was on
oh,
sale.
probably yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It's another. I played a lot of Diablo 3 this year, and it's the same. Even though it's a shooter, it's the same kind of progression. Like you are constantly getting loot. You're constantly, looking for that one little upgrade that will make you more powerful. Especially the end game stuff. It's all about like hitting a certain light level, or what I don't know if they still call it that in Destiny 2 or not. But you're trying to basically like hit a certain level cap so that you can do the end game content, the raids and stuff. And I know that type of loop, that gameplay loop, very very well, and I don't know if I'm quite in the mood for it yet, but we'll see.
Well, there's no monthly sub at least, so if you're in the mood for it one night, cool. If you're not the next night, not really a big deal.
That's true. Hey, you know what, Luke? That's a pretty good segue that you made there. Speaking of monthly sub.
Man, I'm so good at these segues. I didn't even do it on purpose.
You should host the show. Anyway, Destiny 2, check it out. Let me know if you're playing on PC. We can. Yeah, there we go. Zembosis. Rob in the chat says, "Add me on BattleNet." Will do, man. And show me the ropes.
Consider it done.
Speaking of another thing you can do on BattleNet, I played some Legion. I saw my brother-in-law in there and decided to pull the trigger and hop back in, and there is a lot to do in this game, Luke.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Didn't you do the same thing? Didn't you try this out a couple months ago or something?
Yep, I got that message on BattleNet from an old guild mate of mine who was like, "Yeah, Legion's so awesome. Bunch of the old crews back in. Get back in here." Like, no. Got peer pressure for like 3 weeks. Like, okay, fine. I'll do it. Spent like $40 or $50 on the expansion, another 15 for my first month sub, and played it 3 times, I think.
Jeez, man.
Yep. Not a very economical choice there. Poor life decisions.
Yeah, I think so you didn't try Legion at all up until this point. Right?
Yeah. And this was back in like July or something.
Okay. So I played it when it first came out. When it first dropped, I think I was still playing Warlords a bit on and off. And then when Legion hit, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm all in." So I think I got it day one or the first week or whatever. I played pretty hard. Got to level cap on my main, which is a paladin, and did a lot of the order hall stuff, which is kind of like this base that you're building up to fight back the Legion. It's got its own storyline and everything. Did quite a bit of that. Completed most of that. You're working on your artifact weapon, which is one of the cooler features that they added. You don't get weapon drops in Legion like you used to in previous expansions. Instead, you do this quest to get your artifact weapon, which for different classes, it's some weapon of immense power. Like Ret Paladins can get Ashbringer. Trying to think of some of the other big ones. I think it's enhancement shamans get the Doomhammer, Thrall's Doomhammer and stuff. So there's some really cool ones. Other ones they made up specifically for the expansion, but they've all got their own backstory.
Paladin shield looking really terrible.
Oh, that's the one I've got on here right now, and I think it's real cool.
Yeah, it looks really terrible.
Oh, Luke, you're so wrong. It's modeled. It's okay. Let me sell you on it, or try to. It's modeled after Heaven's Gate from Diablo. You look at it close, it's the same shape, and it's straight out of Diablo 3.
Heaven's Gate looks stupid.
Oh, you're so wrong, Luke, but that's okay. Anyway,
now can I transmog it to look like the Bulwark shield?
Yes, you can. And
I'll just make it look like that then.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And the sword looks like Eldruin, kind of like Tyrael's sword. Anyway, I won't try to sell you on it. You're just wrong. It's fine. But there's all kinds of appearances and stuff to unlock. So I did a lot of that stuff, and then I took a huge break. Just cut cold turkey off for months until now. So when I jump back in, this is like 3 major patches later, ton of new content's added, and I've just got tons of catching up to do. They've built in a bunch of different ways to do that, like the currency that you use to upgrade your artifact is called artifact power. I used to remember getting like hundreds or thousands of that from different items and quests and things like that. Now when you complete one, it's like, here's 1 billion artifact power. It's just making it rain artifact power.
1 billion
yes,
artifact
with a
power.
B. That was actually tech that didn't exist in the game before. They weren't able to report numbers in billions prior to a more recent patch. I think it was 7.3. So they've really changed that. I've been catching up on all that stuff. And the story is just insane. Like, at this point, you actually get a spaceship and fly it to Argus, which is the homeworld of the Draenei, which is completely destroyed and overrun by the Legion. So you literally get in a spaceship and fly it to a different planet and get out and start kicking demon ass on a different planet. It's pretty insane.
Out of all the planets in the universe, you have to go to a one that's destroyed and infested with demons?
So I missed
Who's your travel agent?
I missed the part where they managed to warp the whole planet in, so it's like in Azeroth's, like, I don't know, atmosphere almost. Like, it looks like you could spit and hit it almost. It overshadows the moon. It's like right there, right in the sky.
There's an episode of Doctor Who where they do that.
Oh, do they use the TARDIS?
Screwdriver? Well, they use Time Lord technology to do it, obviously.
Okay, well, maybe
but yeah, they bring it in.
Maybe the Legion has, has some Time Lords in there.
Sounds like it. Well, like hang on. We're putting this all together.
Yep.
Blizzard loves big things on shoulders, right?
Yes.
So do Time Lords.
Oh, shit. We just figured it out. We just solved it. Shut it down. We're all done here. How do you defeat
the Warcraft universe is in the same universe as Doctor Who. There it is. It's all canon.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. But man, I'm really digging it. Playing the Paladin feels great. I've got 9 other characters right around level 100 that are just ready to go. So I want to catch some of those up, get the alts ready. It just, I don't know, man. It feels really good. Really good to be back in that game. And the new expansion looks insane. So I feel like I'm just kind of, I want to finish all this up and get ready for Battle for Azeroth. Get ready to take it to the Alliance. Sorry for the Horde. Always for the Horde.
Yeah, we need to move on, because what this is right now is, I'm like someone who's smoked cigarettes for 15 years and has been clean for the last 5, and we're outside talking, you just light up, and I'm like,
right, yeah,
like, just get away from me.
I'm sorry, Luke, but it looks so good. So anyway,
well, I'm glad you're having fun with it. It was just really hard for me to get back into it.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe if you had a friend, though, just saying. Anyway.
Don't you get home at like midnight?
Yeah, we would never play together. It's fine.
Hence why we don't play Destiny 2.
Right. Pretty much nailed it. I think that does it for what we played this week. It's a lot later without Brian around.
Yeah,
to really beef up that.
Someone talking about 5 games.
Yep, I miss him.
Oh, I played Forza.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
I appreciate the substitute for Craig, though.
Snake chat. Did you know that snakes can?
Oh man. Well, hey, let's get right into the news, huh? Oh man, I didn't really want to take it to EA again this week, but it turns out that after the whole Star Wars kerfuffle with the loot boxes, you remember.
I think we touched on it once or twice.
All the cancellations, their $3 billion in stock value went away. Yeah. I don't know anything about stocks, but I think an 8% drop is considered real bad. 8.5% month
It's
to date.
usually frowned upon at the very least.
I don't think you want to do that. So I imagine Disney's probably a little pissed. I imagine EA's a lot pissed. And
I could see it the other way around where EA's slightly pissed.
yeah,
Because like one of their franchises didn't do well. But Disney, they don't like looking bad ever.
right.
Ever.
Yeah,
So they're probably like, you fucked up.
right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that exclusivity deal with like the the getting to
Mm-hmm.
make the games, like all the Star Wars games, if that got renegotiated very soon.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. It's a bummer, but I feel like it's 2017. We're calling out all kinds of wrongness in our culture and our, especially in our entertainment. And I'm not trying to like conflate the two things, with all the
Right.
harassment and whatever. But it's a trend. I think this needed to happen. So
There was a picture on Reddit, I think on Black Friday, of like an end cap of games.
hmm
And it was just, empty shelves. Like the four bottom ones were all empty, and the top one was Battlefront, just stocked solid. No one was buying it, but everything else sold.
yeah, and that was actually called out in this stock article. They talked about being unenthused about their performance for Black Friday and
Hmm.
underwhelmed by the sell through. I think it was the direct quote. So hopefully it's a wake up call. Hopefully they realize like, hey, gamers aren't gonna put up with that stuff, man. You're charging us $60+ for a game. We want to play what's in the game and not feel like we have to spend more money in order to win. So
Yeah, I'm hearing even the game itself is just very mediocre too.
yeah, we kicked that can around pretty heavily, so I won't spend a whole lot more time on it. But yeah, it's something we're going to be talking about for a while. I think this is going to be a developing thing for a while. So there you go.
Hopefully, anyone else who's thinking of doing something like this takes a second look at it.
Yeah. So I already mentioned the Destiny 2 free trial. So that's the good news about Destiny 2 this week. Once again, if you missed that part, you can play Destiny 2 for free up until level 7. And yeah, it's now available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But there was a little bit of controversy about something players discovered. They found out that there was kind of like a diminishing returns on XP earned. So, and this was like, so you have an XP bar like you do in most video games that tells you how much XP you're getting. And I guess there were people doing like the community events, these like recurring missions that you could jump into and do and earn XP and loot and whatever. And they were being told, like, for example, like say you're getting 1,000 XP for completing that mission. Well, they were actually looking at the XP bar itself and noticing that as they were doing subsequent missions, they're getting that bar was moving less than it was for the earlier ones. So that kind of blew up on Twitter and on Reddit and everything. And so Bungie actually responded and said, "Oh, yep, you know what? We're gonna fix that. That's true. That was happening." So they removed that feature and instead just like increase the amount of XP that you need to earn these, like, I think it's bright engrams is the currency. They're basically like loot boxes. So they took out the the soft curve for that and instead just made it harder for everyone to get them.
Well, at least that sounds a little more upfront.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know exactly what you need to do.
Sure. Yeah, it's just it seems to be like this
So it's like, oh, you caught us doing it the shady way, but we're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
You just know about it now.
You're still gonna get screwed over, but it will be at least in your face now. You'll see it coming.
All over.
So I don't know, man. It's weird because they've talked before about how they kind of see this game as something that you'll play for a while, do all the content, shelve it, and then come back to it when they release new stuff. And it sounds like most fans, at least the loud ones on the internet, are saying that they want this to be something that they, play every week, something that is constantly providing them something to do in the game, more along the lines of a traditional MMO. I think the players that are doing the Crucible and stuff are probably getting that, but there's plenty that don't do the PvP modes and want, raids and things like that to work towards. And it sounds like they're trying to maybe work some of that back and provide that for people. This just seems like kind of a weird thing to come up with that same discussion also going on right now. So you'd think they'd be wanting to find more ways to reward players for logging in continuously and not trying to curtail that and discourage them doing the community events and that sort of thing. So I don't know, we'll see.
Maybe they'll get there, because from what I've been seeing so far is that they've been really receptive to player feedback and have been making changes to it. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
Maybe the players get what they want.
I'll probably have more to say about it after I put some more time into it. I'm like way at the beginning still. I think I just made it to the farm area, so I basically still in the intro. But yeah, I'll keep my eyes on it, see how it feels. Last but not least, wish Vito was here for this one. Nintendo is releasing Amiibo cereal. It is a Super Mario cereal, breakfast cereal, that also acts as an Amiibo. So you'll be able to scan your cereal and get stuff in Super Mario, any games that support Amiibos, I guess.
What a time to be alive.
Right? I think I'm more interested in the cereal part of this than the Amiibo part. I like me a good breakfast cereal, and this appears to be like a Lucky Charms deal. Like you got the crunchy sugar blasted oats or whatever, and then I see some sugary looking marshmallows. I see a question block, mushrooms, green and red mushrooms. So seems pretty good, Luke.
So when is this available?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked it. And if I were to look at this, it would be hitting stores as early as December 11th. So, hey. That's
only a few weeks ago.
Days away, yeah. I don't know how. I wonder if I can just walk through, like my local grocery store with my Switch and just like
tap
go right the up cereal to it. Right to it. Yeah,
just tap it and walk away.
Work. Yeah.
I think you need to do that for science.
All right, I'll live stream it. We'll go on IRL and we'll see if I can unlock some Amiibo stuff. What I really want to see is them to release a Smash Bros game or like Mario Kart and have it unlock the Amiibo cereal box character in game. I want to fight somebody as a box of cereal, or be driving around like a Mario Kart as cereal, or running around Hyrule as a box of cereal.
Sure.
I
do it to it.
Don't want that, but usually I'm against that kind of stuff in my games. But for some reason, just a box of cereal is comical enough to where I want to see it.
A box of cereal with Cappy on it.
Oh yeah.
With big eyes.
What if when you scanned it, it just like fell out of the sky, and then Mario could toss his cap on it.
Yeah.
And you could like kind of waddle back and forth, and dump your cereal on Goombas and stuff. Oh man, now we got it. We figured it out, Luke.
Yep. So next Saturday we'll be doing this from the local Meijer and
from Kroger. Yep. Yep.
We'll be on IRL. It'll be great.
Yeah. Seems good.
Oh no, it comes out on a Monday, so it'll be the week after.
Yeah. Well, man, that was a quick one. That was speedy episode.
That was efficient.
It was efficient. It was good to have you, man. It was good to do a show. Didn't want to miss one. Thank you to everyone who showed up in the chat. Shout out to Zimbosis and Lead Lunchbox and Assassin's Ghost. See you guys all in there. Appreciate you.
Email us.
As always, yeah, send us an email, man. It's mail@questlogcast.com. That's the email address. We still got games to give away, so your chances of getting one are extremely high if you decide to email the show and want a free game. Let us know what you've been playing this year, man. That's what I want to know. 2017,
give us your game of the years.
2017's been a great year. We only got a couple weeks left before our game of the year show. Would love to hear from you guys. So once again, mail@questlogcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter @questlogcast. You can get the show from iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, or you can stream it right from questlogcast.com, YouTube, or through the app. Man, shout out to Visager, who made the music that we use on this show. Really appreciate that. You can find more of his stuff at visager.bandcamp.com. And, oh, hey, if you're using iTunes, kick us a 5-star review, won't you, if you like the show? It would help us out a ton, and it only takes a second. So, we'll read them here on the show if you do it. Even if it's vulgar, I don't care. I'll say shit. I'll say it all. Doesn't matter. Ass?
Ass? Titties?
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.
The titties.
Classy.
Oh, man.
Oh.